Greetings, devoted fans of Days of Our Lives. Welcome back to TV Days Drama Digest, your trusted source for the juiciest updates and most heart-wrenching storylines from the beloved soap opera. Today, we dive headfirst into the turbulent saga of Xander Kyriakis, a man teetering on the edge of despair, whose life has spiraled into chaos. The burning question on everyone's lips: will Xander, in a desperate bid to hold onto his daughter, Victoria, flee Salem in a dramatic runaway? Buckle up, because this tale is packed with heartbreak, betrayal, and a father's unrelenting love for his child. Let's unravel the emotional roller coaster that is Xander's story and speculate on what lies ahead in this gripping Days of Our Lives arc. Xander Kyriakis, once a formidable presence in Salem, now stands as a man stripped of everything he once held dear. His life, already marred by a checkered past, has taken a catastrophic turn. Recently, Xander found himself behind bars, arrested for a brutal assault on Philip Kyriakis, his longtime rival. The incident was a flashpoint, a moment where Xander's temper, fueled by years of pent-up rage and unresolved grudges, erupted in a way that shocked even those accustomed to his volatile nature. The arrest wasn't just a legal setback, it was a public humiliation, a stain on a man already burdened by a reputation as Salem's resident bad boy. Now out on bail, Xander is a shadow of his former self. His once confident swagger has been replaced by a haunted look in his eyes, a man acutely aware that the walls are closing in. The assault charge hangs over him like a guillotine, threatening to sever any hope of redemption. But the legal troubles are only the beginning. The true devastation lies in the collapse of his marriage to Sarah Horton, a union that once promised to be his salvation. Their love, once a beacon of hope, has crumbled under the weight of betrayal, mistrust, and Xander's inability to escape his darker impulses. The couple, now estranged, has shifted their focus to their young daughter, Victoria, who has become the epicenter of their fractured world. Victoria, a bright-eyed toddler unaware of the storm swirling around her, is the one thing keeping Xander tethered to reality. She is his heart, his reason for fighting, and the only light in a life increasingly shrouded in darkness. But even this precious bond is under threat, as Xander faces a custody battle that could tear him away from his daughter forever. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the drama is only just beginning. The disintegration of Xander and Sarah's marriage is a tragedy that has unfolded in slow, agonizing detail. Once, they were a couple who defied the odds, their love overcoming Xander's criminal past and Sarah's initial reservations. Their wedding was a moment of triumph, a testament to the idea that even the most flawed among us can find redemption through love. But the cracks in their foundation began to show almost immediately, as Xander's inability to fully shed his ruthless tendencies clashed with Sarah's desire for a stable, honest life. The assault on Philip was the final nail in the coffin. For Sarah, it was not just an act of violence, but a betrayal of the man she thought Xander could become. She had believed in his potential for change, but the incident shattered that illusion, leaving her to question whether she ever truly knew him. Their arguments, once passionate but resolvable, have turned venomous, each confrontation a reminder of the love they've lost. Sarah, heartbroken but resolute, has drawn a line in the sand. She will protect Victoria at all costs, even if it means cutting Xander out of their lives entirely. Xander, for his part, is a man drowning in regret. He knows he's made mistakes, grievous ones, but he refuses to let those mistakes define him as a father. His love for Victoria is fierce, almost primal, and the thought of losing her is a wound that cuts deeper than any prison sentence or public scandal. Yet, Sarah's distrust is a formidable barrier. She sees him not as the devoted father he claims to be, but as a ticking time bomb, a man whose volatility endangers their daughter's safety. The tension between them is palpable, a powder keg waiting for a spark. At the heart of this drama lies the impending custody battle over Victoria, a fight that promises to be as brutal as it is heartbreaking. Xander is at a severe disadvantage, and he knows it. His criminal record, a sprawling tapestry of misdeeds ranging from fraud to kidnapping, paints him as an unfit parent in the eyes of the law. The recent assault charge only compounds his troubles, giving Sarah and her legal team ample ammunition to argue that Xander is a danger to their daughter. Sarah, armed with a spotless reputation and a mother's righteous fury, is determined to secure full custody. She's not just fighting for Victoria's safety. She's fighting for the life she believes her daughter deserves, one free from the chaos and danger that seem to follow Xander like a shadow. Her resolve is unwavering, but it's not without pain. Sarah knows that cutting Xander out of Victoria's life will leave a void, but she believes it's a necessary sacrifice to protect her child. For Xander, the custody battle is a crucible, a test of his ability to rise above his past. He's hired a lawyer, but the odds are stacked against him. The courtroom looms like a battlefield, and Xander is acutely aware that he's fighting not just for visitation rights, but for the right to be a father at all. The fear of losing Victoria gnaws at him, a constant ache that fuels his desperation. He's warned Sarah that he won't let her keep him from his daughter, but his words carry a dangerous edge, hinting at the lengths he's willing to go to protect his bond with Victoria. As the custody battle looms, Xander's mental state deteriorates. The man who once thrived on control is now unraveling, his every action tinged with desperation. He's haunted by nightmares of a life without Victoria, of her growing up without knowing him, calling another man Dad. These fears drive him to the brink, pushing him to make choices that are as reckless as they are heartbreaking. The confrontation with Sarah is inevitable, a clash that promises to be one of the most explosive moments in Days of Our Lives history. Picture this scene. A dimly lit room, the air thick with tension, as Xander and Sarah face off. Sarah, her voice steady but laced with pain, accuses Xander of being incapable of change, of putting his own needs above their daughter's. Xander, his eyes burning with a mix of anger and anguish, pleads his case, insisting that Victoria is his reason for living. The argument escalates, words giving way to raw emotion, until Xander delivers a chilling ultimatum: he will not let anyone take his daughter away from him. This confrontation is a turning point, a moment where Xander's desperation boils over into something darker. Sarah, witnessing his unraveling, finds her worst fears confirmed. She sees not the man she once loved, but a stranger consumed by his own demons. Her distrust deepens, and she vows to do whatever it takes to protect Victoria, even if it means destroying Xander in the process. As the custody battle intensifies, whispers begin to circulate in Salem. What if Xander, pushed to the edge, takes drastic action? The possibility of him kidnapping Victoria and fleeing Salem is no longer a mere rumor, it's a very real threat. Xander's love for his daughter is his greatest strength, but it's also his greatest weakness. The thought of being banned from her life forever is unbearable, and in his darkest moments, he begins to entertain a dangerous idea. If he can't win in court, he'll take Victoria and start over somewhere far from Salem's judgmental eyes. Imagine the scene, a stormy night, the kind that blankets Salem in an eerie silence broken only by the howl of the wind. Xander, his heart pounding, creeps into the Horton house where Victoria sleeps. His hands tremble as he lifts his daughter from her crib, her tiny form warm against his chest. He whispers promises to her, vows that he'll give her a better life, a life where they can be together. With a stolen car and a hastily packed bag, Xander disappears into the night, leaving Salem and Sarah behind. This act of desperation would send shockwaves through the town. Sarah, waking to find her daughter gone, would be consumed by a mix of terror and rage. The police would be called, search parties organized, and the residents of Salem would rally around Sarah, their anger at Xander reaching a fever pitch. But for Xander, the world would narrow to just him and Victoria, a father and daughter on the run, chasing a dream of a life free from the chains of his past. Xander's potential decision to kidnap Victoria raises profound questions about love, morality, and the lengths a parent will go to for their child. Is Xander a villain, a man so consumed by his own needs that he'd tear his daughter away from her mother? Or is he a tragic figure, a father driven to extremes by a system that seems determined to punish him for his past? The answer lies in the gray area that Days of Our Lives so masterfully explores, where no character is wholly good or evil, but a complex tapestry of flaws and virtues. For some fans, Xander's actions would be unforgivable, a betrayal of the trust that parenthood demands. They'd argue that true love for Victoria would mean putting her needs above his own, even if it meant stepping back. Others might see Xander as a man pushed to the edge, a father whose love for his daughter outweighs the consequences of his actions. After all, in a town like Salem, where secrets and scandals are as common as sunrise, who hasn't bent the rules for love? If Xander does indeed kidnap Victoria, the fallout would be seismic. Sarah would be relentless in her pursuit, her grief and determination transforming her into a force to be reckoned with. The residents of Salem would be drawn into the drama, with alliances forming and old wounds reopening. Some might sympathize with Xander, seeing echoes of their own struggles in his desperation, while others would condemn him as a monster. The legal consequences would be severe. Kidnapping would add another chapter to Xander's already lengthy criminal record, potentially landing him in prison for years. But more than the legal ramifications, it's the emotional toll that would define this storyline. Xander would be forced to confront the reality of his actions. Has he saved his relationship with Victoria, or has he doomed it by proving Sarah right? And what of Victoria, caught in the crossfire of her parents' war? The long-term effects on her young life would be a thread that Days of Our Lives could explore for years to come. As we await the next chapter in this gripping saga, we turn to you, our loyal TV Days Drama Digest readers. What do you think about Xander's potential decision to kidnap Victoria? Is he a father fighting for his rights, or a man spiraling out of control? Will Sarah find a way to forgive him, or will this be the final nail in the coffin of their relationship? And what about Victoria? How will this trauma shape her future in Salem? Head to our comments section on TV Days Drama Digest to share your thoughts, predictions, and theories. Will Xander and Victoria make it out of Salem, or will they be caught before they can cross the town line? Could there be a twist, a new ally for Xander, or a betrayal that changes everything? The beauty of Days of Our Lives lies in its unpredictability, and we can't wait to see where this story takes us. Xander Kiriakis' story is a testament to the raw, unfiltered emotion that Days of Our Lives delivers with every episode. It's a tale of a man who has lost everything, his marriage, his reputation, his freedom, yet clings to the one thing that gives his life meaning, his daughter. Whether he flees Salem with Victoria or faces the consequences of his actions, one thing is certain: this storyline will keep us glued to our screens, our hearts racing with every twist and turn. So, dear readers, let's keep watching, speculating, and debating. The drama in Salem never stops, and Xander's desperate flight is just the latest chapter in a saga that continues to captivate us all. We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe TV Days Drama Digest for more updates on Days of Our Lives.